Let's talk about adding gluten to your bread. You can add vital wheat gluten, which you can buy at the store. You can buy it from a bakery, baking supply store. Vital wheat gluten is basically just pure gluten that's been extracted from the flour. Your flour naturally contains up to 14% gluten, and this is what forms the network that holds in all the gases and gives strength to your dough. If you are looking to make a really wet sourdough, or you only have a really weak flour, let's say an 11% protein all-purpose flour, you can add gluten to increase the strength of your dough. If you're making a whole grain loaf, let's say something that's 70% whole grain, you're going to want that 30% of white flour that you're adding to be quite strong to support the network. In which case you can add some gluten to your mix to help with that. Now, if you're a purist, you're going to say, oh no, I'm not going to add anything to it, and that's fine, that's up to you. But if you do want to add some gluten, add it at about 0.5% to 2% of flour weight. If you add too much gluten, you're going to have a really tough bread. You're going to bite it and it's going to have a really firm chew. You don't always want a super crazy high gluten in your flour. It's not always the better way. It's not always going to make a better bread. But in certain circumstances, adding gluten will give you more volume to your bread. It will give more volume to a whole wheat bread. And it allows you also to add a lot more water to your dough if you're trying to do a high hydration dough. So that's the story on adding vital wheat gluten to your bread.